It's the last Thursday of the month, so it's time for another Inside Infinite. This time it's with the multiplayer team, and they're talking about the first flight and just sort of feedback and reviewing it. There's nothing too much to talk about in this one. They mostly talk about how successful the flight was and was thanking us for participating, yada yada yada. There are a few things that caught my attention though. So this line here, using challenges, our goal is that you will always be earning progress in your battle pass through playing and winning matches. This will allow you to always jump into a game of Halo and make progress on your goals. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, but it sounds to me like challenges are the only way to earn XP. Like, am I reading that wrong? Like, using challenges, not using matches, but using challenges in matches, you know? Yeah, I'm unsure about this. If true, then this is kind of worrying. But they said they have plenty of challenges for us to do every day so that we can always make progress. That sounds good, but game developers always underestimate how fast we can blast through content. If their example of plenty of challenges is, oh, here's 10 or 20 challenges a day, that's not enough. We can blast through that no problem if they're anything like the get 5 melee kills in a match challenges. Definitely need more clarification on this. Next, they talked about the pillars of multiplayer that they would always reference when they were making the game. They're things that we expect, fair starts, power is earned, map knowledge is key, all good stuff that is essential Halo Arena trademarks. One thing that caught my eye was the player Spartan is canon. Now they've mentioned this before and how they want us and our Spartan to feel like we're having an impact on the Halo universe as we go forward. Making it sound like a Spartan Ops reboot or something similar to Spartan Ops. Which, based on the Season 1 trailer for the Season Pass and rumours that Infinite is a soft reboot, it does seem that way. But I think it's more of a soft reboot of just the 343 games. I don't think they would ever touch the Bungie games, those are sacred. But the 343 games, those are the games that need the most correction. Well, more so Halo 5 than Halo 4. Halo 4 was good, to me at least. I thought Halo 4 was good. Not as good as any of the Bungie Halo games, but it was still good. And now it seems that they want to reboot Spartan Ops, or something very similar to Spartan Ops, which is fine by me. Again, I love Spartan Ops, or at least the idea of it. It could have been better, yes, but what we got, a second weekly campaign where it was our Spartan as the main character, it was a great idea, until they completely ignored it and acted like it never happened in the first mission of Halo 5. That's just another reason why Halo 5 is truly awful. It was a great concept and one that I hope they do revisit, and I hope this isn't just me reading too much into things like I tend to do sometimes. They talk about the bots and how they wanted a safe space for new players to learn Halo along with the academy and the firing range, which we've heard before, and it is a good concept. Too many times I've tried to get people into Halo back in the day and they would just get demolished and give up on it and go back to COD. Hopefully this helps more players get into Halo without feeling intimidated. They do acknowledge that the ODST and Spartan difficulty bots were too easy and say that their goal is to make the jump between these two difficulties more noticeable, which is good because, I was really looking forward to the Spartan difficulty and I was really disappointed. I want a challenge against these Spartans. It looks like they will be fixing it. But the biggest takeaway from this is this little bit here. They're asking the question, player feedback is a critical element of our process, and during the tech preview we had a solid amount of it. What are some of the bigger items the multiplayer team is working on now as a result of that? And Andrew Witz here, one of the multiplayer guys, responds, one area of focus for me lately has been on analysing player sentiment around what we've been calling the combat sensor, or as everyone has been calling it, radar. We knew that the implementation we had for the tech preview was going to feel different, maybe even a little contentious, which is why we wanted to get feedback on it as soon as possible. We've heard all the feedback and we have a new iteration that will be in the next preview, which will be more in line with players' expectations. They've fixed the radar, or at least they've changed it. It'll be interesting to see how much they've changed it back to the more traditional way, but I'm glad they've done this, as the radar was easily the most talked about thing from the preview that wasn't a bug. More talking about the bots and how they make them work and how they program them. Nothing really interesting here to me, and nothing sort of stand out. Just more insight into their process, which seems like hard work. And as always, we end with Joseph Staten talking about his journey through Halo Infinite. But in this one, he essentially explains why there was no campaign footage at Gamescom. His reasoning being that, as they said in the preview from last week, they are in shutdown mode, where they are focused on crushing bugs and nothing else. And rather than split their resources and get some people off in a corner somewhere working on the demo for us to see, they'd rather everyone be working on making the actual full game work. Because we need to remember, if they were to do a demo, that means they would have to export a chunk of the game, a specific level, make sure it has no bugs, script and rehearse the stage show and their playthrough of it, and that all takes time and people to go focus on that. And at this point, I'd rather they just work and finish the full game. Because again, if leaks are to be believed, then they need all the time that they can get making this game working. I don't need to see any more campaign. Let's let it be a surprise. I'm not saying I don't want them to release some campaign footage. If they release a trailer, I'd be all over that. But I'm not frothing at the bit to see anymore. Just finish the game, 343. Just finish the game. That's all I want at this point. And another technical preview. And that is essentially it for this edition of Inside Infinite. Some good wee nuggets of feedback info here and there. But the biggest takeaway from this is they've heard the majority of us saying that we don't like the new radar, and they have changed it, which is good. I know some people won't be happy about that, but you know, they might bring it back. They might bring that old style of radar back. And as many of you pointed out, that's the kind of radar they used in the Halo Championship playlist or whatever. So more than likely they'll have a playlist like that will have that specific kind of radar for you guys. So I don't think it's gone completely. I think it will still be there in some form or fashion. Are you happy about the radar change? I know from the looks of things, I'd say 2/3 of the community wanted it back to the old way. Me, I'm old school. I prefer classic radar. But let me know in the comments what you think about the radar change. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.